Have you ever been asked, do you like music? As if it's a conversation starter?
Whoa!
Well, today there is something that probably normally not in the purview of the GCA, but is something that is close to me and it does fall under pop culture and entertainment. So we have to talk about music, namely one of the people that made their freaking bank off of talking about music and putting those things on YouTube, making tons of videos, gaining a huge subscribership. That person is Finn McKenty. This isn't the newest news of them all. It's not like that at all. But there's something that I want to talk about because I have been subscribed to this for a long time. Now, he started something that he ended up calling the Punk Rock MBA, the Punk Rock MBA podcast, where he talked about older music, the kind of the stuff that I'm still stuck with. Like the emo music, you had the new metal, you had the grindcore, you had the hardcore. He went on to all of the different subsections of that kind of underground music and following the bands that started there and made it big. There was a lot of stuff that he was doing, and a lot of it kind of resonated. One thing that I did notice, though, he kept going back to Suicidal Tendencies, and I can't stand that band. He would talk a lot about that, but I guess what we found out from his own words is that it was all for the money. So, starting out, the Punk Rock MAA, Finn McKenty, quits YouTube, Twitch, and music content creation, claims I was just doing it for the money. Yeah, he said this in an interview with Jesse Lee just here recently. And the voice behind it is quit. It's formally announced that he has quit. He is just a big old quitter. If you haven't seen these pop up in your timeline, you probably don't listen to the type of music that I listen to. But these things were everywhere. Tons of views, tons of subscribers. We'll actually have this pulled up. I think he had like over 600,000 subscribers. Very successful YouTube channel. And if you want to go see the full interview where he says it out of his own mouth while his camera lags, this is something that you can type in. We might put it in the description as well. So, just to summarize this, I will not read all of this verbatim or anything like that because I have already read it, but I just want to give you a little bit of an insight onto what we're talking about. McKenty grew up entrenched in the West Coast hardcore scene, making zines for local bands, tagging graffiti, and attending hardcore shows, which is actually one of the one things that he always almost seemed passionate about. But according to him, with his interview, he wasn't really passionate about the things that were making him money. He just became a view chaser. He became a clout chaser. And so during the course of this, and no, I mean, I'm not going to make like a 30-minute video or anything like that, but during the course of this, we will uncover why the GCA themselves don't do that. I only talk about things that I have a vested interest in because you see the burnout. When you're just chasing the clout, you're just chasing the views, and then when everything stops, once you've made it, people are going to ask questions. And if you give them the real answer, you're going to disappoint them all. You're going to get them pissed at you. Might as well, if you're going to piss them off from the get go and stay solid. But he goes on in this interview and he says, "I don't really have any interest in music. I was just doing it for the money. I hit my financial goals." Oh my goodness, dude! You don't really have any interest in music. I'm trying to play devil's advocate here. Maybe he had interest in the music scene when he was younger. However, he is older now, and the music scene is not what sustains your lifestyle. The money is. So, I mean, that's the most amount of quote unquote simping that I'm going to do for this dude because I really just want to rip him a new asshole. But that's not really what we're here for. He was just doing it for the money. Come, oh my goodness. Now it began as a marketing channel before quickly pivoting to covering popular alternative music. Yes, that's exactly what it was. He's more interested in the business side of things. You could see that with his ad reads and the sponsors that he got. He's way more interested in that than he was actually being in the mosh pit, so to speak. His bookshelf was stacked with texts from ranging from punk bios to books on web analytics. Yeah, this is basically where we're going to end all of this talk right now. He was more interested in the other thing with a very small side piece of him that was interested in it way back a long time ago. So, therefore, in his own mind and in YouTube's mind, because hey, look at us, we all fell for it. In his own mind, he had a little bit of experience there. Therefore, he had a little bit of view into what other people might want to see, as long as it coagulated with the stuff that he actually used to care about. I know that's a very complicated sentence, and it probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but a lot of people do this all the time. He is not the only one to do stuff like this because you see it in YouTube comments and in live chats all the time as a blank, blank, blank. Therefore, they feel like they have the authority to talk about blank, blank, blank that doesn't necessarily draw a full correlation between the two. And that's exactly what McKenty was doing. But what he found out was the stuff that he actually did want to talk about wasn't stuff that was hitting in the algorithm or hitting with fans nearly as hard. It didn't have as much of a base than the stuff where you talk about where everyone knows. And we could see that quite a bit. But he, instead of choosing to stay true to himself, what he did was he chased the money and he got the money. So basically, he's a winner in this as long as he can completely change his name legally and go away from society and hope everyone forgets about him. He got away with it. Now, does he feel good about it? I don't think so. I don't think he does at all. Now, there is a lot more that goes into this story, and I didn't want to really want to do something comprehensive. I really just wanted to talk about this channel who is preaching like good business habits. Could you could now 2020 hindsight say that it was a red flag? That should have been a red flag. Well, it wasn't at the time because he always said that he was a business promoter. He always said he was a business promoter and that he went to these shows, these hardcore shows. He had a real love for the music and he would do things for the fans. He would do things for the fans because he liked the music too. He listened to all these things. Well, by his own admission, he said, man, half those videos, maybe even more than half, I just looked up the Wikipedia page and memorized it. So a complete scam artist. We all got scammed. I never paid him anything. So yeah, I'm not out any money, but these are the kind of things when there's no transparency with the people that you watch on YouTube. These are the kind of things that kind of break your heart and make you not trust what you're seeing, which is why I will be linking a video, a more comprehensive video on this subject from a YouTuber called Fantano. I think he did a great job with this. I think he's got his finger on the pulse of it. Obviously, it's already gotten a lot of views, but we might have different audiences. So anything I can push to him because I learned a lot from this because there's very few articles talking about it. There's very little news that you can bring up unless you watch that podcast with Jesse Lee. And I implore you to go watch that. See for yourself because he looks disheveled. His microphone and camera are cutting in and out. He looks like a washed up divorcee. And that's how he comes across too. He does not have the confidence in anything, not even in that. I think he's dejected and ashamed. But what do you guys think? If you know anything about the Punk Rock MBA, if you pay attention to hardcore, punk pop, metal music, hardcore. I said hardcore twice. Hardcore metal, grindcore, all the kind of cores. There's a lot of cores in here. But if you care about anything about that over the last 4 to 5 years and have come across his channel, did you think that he was doing a good job presenting? Because he was just lying to your face the whole time. But this is Multi from the GCA. Go make up your own minds for yourselves. I personally am pissed at him, but he got his bag. That's what they all say. Y'all have a great day.